everyone. Welcome again to Artist Spotlight series. Today we have a special guest, special artist from France, Benedict Allee. And did I say it right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm learning French.
Yeah, that's a good pronunciation.
I'm learning. I have to Google it. How you pronounce it? So today we're just gonna chat about Benedict and get to know her a little bit more about where she's from and her art, what she's doing, and introduce you to her. So, hi Benedict, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is great. Well, thanks for taking the time. And it's about 6 o'clock there, almost dinner time. I'm here in Seattle, not almost, already past breakfast. Yeah, see, we always, mark our time with meals. That's how we do things. So please tell us about yourself. Where are you? Where are you from? And how you get interested in art in the beginning? Like when did you start?
Yeah, it's a long story actually.
We have plenty of time.
So I was born in France, and I live in France, but I grew up. Now I'm currently living in the French Alps, near the mountains, but I grew up in the north of France, where the landscape is very flat,
Okay, yeah.
And, when I was a very young girl, my parents were living near a ranch. And
right.
there were horses there, and I was really, really small, and I was fascinated by horses. I remember quite clearly that I tried to draw the horses. So for a long time, for a long period of time when I was young, I was drawing horses and trying to express their strengths, their wildness, and their beauty, actually. So, and I liked everything about horses at that time. But by the time I was growing older, when I was a teenager and then a young adult, I was more drawn into the human body. So I started to draw bodies, and I started to draw nudes. And I think that, my daily job is a psychotherapist. And I think that at the time I was trying to understand my own body and my own feelings as a young girl or a young woman by drawing the nudes, the body, the feminine body. So, but maybe you know, or maybe you don't know, that I don't have any formal art education. I tried when I was 18, but I didn't submit my work to an art school at that time, because I was so afraid and so shy and so intimidated. And my parents didn't give me any support for that. So I made a business school at the time.
Okay, that's good too.
So if you don't make an art school, make a business school.
Yeah. Now you can merge the two.
Yeah, I tried, but after the business school, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I don't find the word. Okay, I moved from the north of France into the southeast of France. I know that for you American people, France is a very small country, but
I just look it up. It's not that small.
every part of France has its own identity, and so I moved into a town, a city where you have a lot of mountainscapes around it, and I really loved it. And I started to do a lot of mountain sports, spending more time in the mountains. But at that time, I was my art practice was really minimal. I would say sometimes I was drawing, sometimes I was not, and for a long period of time, I was not doing anything.
Yeah.
And it's only in 2010 that maybe you could have known that if you had read my website, but I had a breast cancer, and I met a psychotherapist who was an art therapist, and she was American. She was from New York, really a great person, and she proposed me to express my feelings, my sadness, my angerness, and all these things, to express it through sculpture. So I made a lot of sculpture with clay, and this is how the art came back into my life, really, at that time, 2010. So but after that, I decided, I was pushed by a new partner in my life to really focus on my art, and I went to an art school as an adult for adult courses to learn life drawing. So I made these courses, these life drawing courses, for sessions for 3 years. But again, it was only in black and white. I used mainly ink or charcoal or pencils, and it was only black and white. And in 2019, it's really the time where it started, because I wanted to use color, and I was really fascinated by the mountains and the glaciers and water, snow and minerals, and I wanted to express this in my own way with color. But I was convinced that I had no clue about color.
Because you've been working on with black and white.
Yeah, for a long time.
Okay.
I liked it. Okay.
Yeah.
I like ink. Right. It's a great medium, actually.
Yeah.
And I wanted to paint abstract landscapes, and had no clue how to do that, but tried.
Okay.
I was feeling that I was missing some skills and some information. So I tried to find some resources on the internet, and found Adele Sipestin, who is a great painter.
Yeah.
And she has a YouTube channel, and she proposes all sorts of videos about our process. So I learned a lot with her. And in one of her videos, she interviewed Nicholas Wilton, and that's how I found Nicholas Wilton. I followed the free workshop in 2020, and then CVP. So it's a creative visionary program of Art to Life, 2 times, 2020 and 2021. And that's where I am now, because, um, I found I really fell in love with the way he is teaching, and I thought I would learn color with him, and in fact, I learned the composition. The design.
Yeah.
I even didn't know anything about design.
Yeah.
And so it was like discovering an all new world.
Yeah.
So, and then through Art to Life, I came across you and what you are doing and so on. So now I am really in a process to learn and to find what I want to do with my art, what I want for my art, the new direction I want for my art.
Yeah. Kind of finding your own your own style or voice or your own mark throughout all of these different times of you learning from black and white into looking for colors, looking for composition, looking for, these are like the components that you have to learn along the way, and then you're now in the moment, learning to put them all together, I think, which is great.
I believe that where I am now is after these 2 years of intense learning, I need to integrate everything, every part. It's like a puzzle, and everything I have to integrate into my own practice. And understand exactly what I'm doing. Because, at the beginning, I wanted to express the mountains, the essence of the mountains, and how they are in danger, actually, because of the human activities. And that was my main purpose as an artist, I think. And then I am reflecting on how is that evolving. I have just read that that the next call this Friday is about our why, and why I do what I'm doing is very, very important, I think.
Right.
To keep motivated, to keep our mojo, and it's very important to know why you are doing that. Why are you sharing that? And this possibility of sharing, for example, is very important to me. I like, on Instagram, I like to share my journey. I am a beginner. I know that I am a beginner, and I like to share my little steps, towards my goal.
I'm a beginner too. I feel like we're always a beginner. Come on, if you know already, it's, as you know, we're in the the beginning, finding the why. It is a beginner mindset in a way, right? You asking yourself. Now the great thing I like about what you're doing is not just asking the why, but you're actually working on it. Meaning, it's not like thinking and then, because it can get you stuck asking it's a big question. Why? And to me, watching you working, like practicing, that's one way to find the answer. Yes, sometimes we write, sometimes we make things. To me, it's like it's the cycle of doing, like learning, like you're learning, doing, learning from different people. That's great. Like you receiving different point of view from different people, that's enriching your knowledge, right? And then you making, so learning, and then you making, you kind of processing and making it and make sense of all of that. At the same time, you're thinking about, why am I doing this? So it's like it's the cycle of greatness. I think it's, that's how you find the answer, not just not just learning and not doing anything. It's like reading a book about self-help or whatever and not doing anything. It's like it doesn't help, right? It's you reading and understanding the concept, and then you practicing it so you understand fully within yourself, and then you can create your own out of that, like, because everybody understand things differently, right? So so that's why I like about what you watching, what you're doing and your progress all this time. So speaking of progress, like what are you doing right now? Like what kind of work you're working on right now?
Well,
or a lot of things, trying different things. Yeah, basically.
Basically,
like, tell me about the piece behind you. What is, those are great. What is that piece in the back there?
This piece is one piece that I that we discussed together.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. A large piece, is it?
Yeah, it's a large piece. It's well, I don't know how much
centimeter
in inches. Yeah,
your centimeters is fine.
It's 1.8 meters long
meters,
and
okay.
1.2 meters high.
Okay.
So, well, I don't know. It's not easy to go from 6 meters to inches
we'll
for
figure, yeah,
European, people. So, yeah, but I'm not working on it for a long time now because, I sometimes have to take time to leave the things, rest, and then come with another, a fresh mind, a fresh, And at that time, I was using a lot of pink,
Yeah.
And this makes a nice link to what I'm working on right now, because I think that coming from working on mountainscapes, and now I'm more into abstract without a reference, a visual reference.
Yeah.
It's more what comes from my inner child or my inner feelings. And I think that the link is vulnerability, because what interested me in the mountains was how big they are, how huge they are, how powerful they seem, and how fragile they are, in fact, how vulnerable they are.
Yeah.
Sorry for the pronunciation.
No, it's good.
It's the end of the day.
You and me about pronunciation, the same. Don't worry about it.
And then I think that in my current practice, these colors, these soft colors, and I try to express who I am as a woman, and how a woman can be altogether strong and vulnerable, and strong and sensitive. And and this contrast between what we show of ourselves, the strengths that we show of ourselves, our confidence, our apparent confidence, and the inner side of us, who is more vulnerable, sensitive, emotions, feelings, and sometimes sadness, loneliness, and so on. This is what I'm interested in at the moment, I think.
Okay.
But really, I'm talking to you like that, but it's not that clear,
No, this is great. I never heard that story before. You never told. That never come out about. I think that's a great great seeds of your why. And you just talked to me about it, and I think I need to look at your website again. that should be in your website, you know, telling that reason, if it's not there yet. It's
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not in the website yet because it's really what I am reflecting on at the moment. So
yeah, okay,
it's really, you know, at the end of the year, last year in December, I was so into working and the show that I made, and so I was exhausted, and I had no distance from a practice, you know, and what I was doing. So,
yeah,
and January was really a big time for me to understand where I was. And
okay, yeah.
I couldn't tell myself, okay, just work and work and work and work again,
Yeah,
produce and produce and
right,
produce. No, I had
exactly,
to take some rest and
yeah.
to understand what I wanted to do, what I wanted to say, actually.
Yeah,
So now I start to see some relationships between my past work and the work I'm currently in today.
yeah,
And, uh, you know, and a part of it comes from, you know, the discussion that we had together
yeah,
about my work.
yeah,
I think it's invaluable that you can talk um, to another artist, experimented artist, of what you are doing.
yeah,
Yeah, and of course, as you said, it's by making the art, but it's also in talking about the art that you
yeah,
understand what you are doing now, what you
yeah,
want.
yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. You got it. It is part of, you know, that's why we call it practice. It's, you know, practicing actually doing and thinking and kind of analyzing. I'm also the same, seems like I have the same regimen with you, meaning like I work, 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 and then I have to remember myself to kind of stop and actually think about, think about it a little bit more, right? I mean, you try hard to be intentional when you do these things, when you practice. Yeah, you intentionally doing, but also as an abstract artist, right? You know, sometimes you don't want to think about anything at the moment. I just want to. It is intuitive practice, right?
Yeah.
It's the weird thing. It's the balancing thing between right brain, left brain, and heart. But that's, or is it right brain is the heart the same? I don't know. It's, you know, it's the logic and the feeling, like between the two. Right? We just have to continuously balancing those things, which is kind of, you know, interesting and fun and challenging.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. But I have to admit that during the past 2 years, I spent much more time, you know, in the process and working in, really working on my paintings, trying to make them work, basically. And
you know,
I had no time really to meditate them, you know.
yes, so, yeah, but yeah, which is, you know, it's okay. I mean, that's part of the, you know, learning process, and I feel like that never ends. It's just part of what we do. That's why it's a
Yeah.
cycle of, you know, once we kind of find our style or a voice, and then what?
Yeah.
It's time for us to restart, right? Redoing it. So that's why we have to like it. We have to really love the process of discovering something and rediscovering or reinventing. It is part of the cycle of goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So,
you're right. I think that for a time, for quite a long time now, I was looking for this thing. Yeah. How to find my voice. It's not really a question. It's not an issue for me anymore.
mhm,
You know, the voice comes from the process actually.
Mm-hmm.
And the why, the meaning, the purpose of your work, it's another kind of thing. You
Mm-hmm.
have to ask yourself, what are you doing? Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
What do you want to say? What do you want people to understand? What do you want people to see?
Yeah.
You have to ask yourself another kind of questions.
Right.
And
Right.
I don't really bother about my style anymore. I can see that I have a bit of a problem with that, because I feel that my work is not totally cohesive, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that, and I think, okay, this is where I am now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're being patient. You are trusting yourself that you know you will get there, or you are already there. Yeah. So you don't really. It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm an explorer.
Right. Right.
Yeah, in life and in my
Mm-hmm.
art, it's the same. I feel I am an
That's
explorer.
great.
I love new things. I love new materials. I love meeting new people, and so on. So it's not a surprise that this can be seen in my own work.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's not a problem actually. Well, it's much more important for me to be aligned with my meaning, with the why. Yeah,
Okay.
to feel that I am okay with what I am doing.
I love it. That's part of the you got the inner peace.
Yeah.
That is, I think that's the most beautiful thing. That's one of the reason. That's one of the why I think Spice. I started Spice Art Club. I think that from yes, selling is great. You know, having a community is great, and knowing your voice is great. But ultimately, it's like what you said. You kind of like you find that peaceful place where yeah, my work matters, my work is important, but also it's just my work, me. I'm content inside, like with my work. So and it's continuously, you know, evolving. So that's 2 thumbs up for you. That's great. I'm touched. That's great. Yeah. So thanks for sharing that. To wrap up, what advice do you have for other artists, or for your previous self, like you said, regarding anything really?
If I had if I had an advice for my previous self, I would say to her to get to her heart earlier, you know, because now I'm 57 and it's not exactly the same game, you know.
Yeah.
But well, for other artists, I feel I am a beginner still, and I feel very humble, and everyone is talking about the process and focus on the process, not focusing on the outcome. And of course, but I would say basically you are free. Feel free, do anything. Do anything, you know, go to the mountains if you like that. Draw if you like that. Feel free. I would say this is sense of life, the meaning of life, to enjoy, to enjoy what we are, who we are, and what we are doing. So enjoy.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. you're enjoying your Alps, and yeah, that's great. I love it. Well, thank you, Benedict, for sharing your insights, your background. Now we know you a little bit better, and now I know your story a little bit more. I didn't know that about your your research.
Thank you for
awesome.
inviting me. Thank you.
This is great.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll see you around.